All right, take 3 on the lock shot. We got to get right into our picks just in case this happens again. I mean, I don't know anything about power breakers, but I went back into this room right here next to me again, and there's 3 breakers over to the right. So I don't know what keeps tripping the power, but we're going to have to get to the bottom of it. Sorry, boys. The boys said this happened once when I was sick too, but this is weird.
Is Gazzola in today? Is he using the blow dryer?
The hair dryer on Tommy's a pretty good bit, but no, he's not in today, so we can't even blame him. We are going to Trevor. Let me know when the iHeart and TuneIn streams are back up as well. Should be good, he says. So hopefully you've got us on TuneIn and iHeart. Apologize for these technical difficulties. Ryan says Waylon Wolf keeps cutting in and out throughout. I still think it's Maddie's coffee beans. I mean, it just seems completely unnecessary to have like a second coffee maker just in your office. I just don't think it makes sense. But whatever.
Listen, don't even get me going on that.
All right, couple of things, then we'll get into our picks. Poker tournament tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Edmonton time, 9 o'clock Winnipeg time. Hop on, download the poker software at Coolbet, and then you just go to tournament, search Lock Shop, and you can register and join us. We'll be looking forward to that on Tuesday night. EST Parlay tonight is up right now. Draisaitl goal. Bouchard assist, Oilers on the money line, plus 555. Draisaitl has gone 9 straight games against Florida without scoring a goal. So we're taking the he's due strategy tonight. And the Oilers have been playing extremely well, won 5 in a row here against a Florida team that's been shut out in back-to-back games. So that's the EST Parlay. It's up on the exclusives page, not at the combo cards at the top. But let's put together a little parlay tonight. Well, we got 2 games to kind of sort through here, so we can approach it differently, I guess, if we want. But the lines moved from this morning because it was Minnesota -7 this morning. Right now it's -6.5. Atlanta -6. Huss, what's the best bet on the board tonight for you?
Well, listen, Patty and I were just talking while you guys got your power restored. Listen, I love the Vikings in this game. They're wearing the full whites tonight. The whiteout color rush unis. They're trying to do a whiteout, although there'll be a ton of purple in the building. It's going to look really cool. They've got the extra day of rest coming off that offensive explosion last week against the Falcons, and know that the table is set for them to get up and tie Detroit with the same record, knowing that they've got them in the final week of the season. So I'm looking for a big game from the Vikings. Listen, Justin Jefferson had been quiet, had not been in the end zone for 6 games leading into last week. I think he carries over from that. I love a Justin Jefferson anytime TD score. I believe he's at -110. And I'll tell you what, for the receiving yards, like the Jefferson number is significant at 81.5. I think if I had to take that one on either side, I'd probably take him over. But Addison has been so good lately. It's that second option. He had 3 touchdowns last week, and they both went for like 130. So the Addison 54.5 number, I think between the 2 receiving totals, I think I'd probably lean on the Addison total at over 54.5. But and then I guess the one other thing that I didn't check out, where's Darts at? He's over 253.5 and over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think I still like the receiving props, either Jefferson TD or Addison over yards is kind of where I'm at. And I do like the Vikings to cover the number.
The Addison one is an automatic, I think. I mean, his last 3 games, 54 was his floor. And we're getting it sitting here at 54.5 right now. I mean, 162, then 54, then 133, 61 before that. So he's covered this total in his last 4 games. I mean, it almost seems fishy to me why it's only at 54.5. Patty, what do you like?
Yeah, I really like both of those. The other one I like in this game, obviously, again, Huss and I both think that, especially that the fact it's moved less than a touchdown, a little bit scary, but like the Vikings need this. They absolutely need this. I also really like a Caleb Williams interception at -120. Surprisingly, he hasn't thrown a pick in 7 straight games, which I actually couldn't really believe it until I went back and checked the log. But PFF, Pro Football Focus has this stat that's called a turnover worthy play that basically indicates where probably an interception should have happened. And in the last 3 games, he's had 6. So he's just getting very lucky that guys are dropping balls, that there have been flags to take away those interceptions. And what Brian Flores is doing to smart quarterbacks, confusing coverages and forcing them into bad throws and interceptions, leads me to believe that they're going to be able to do the same for a young rookie who's going through some growing pains. The Vikings are averaging over an interception and a half each game. That's pretty crazy. So give me Caleb Williams interception minus 120. And I like those 2 receiving props that Huss threw out there as well.
Williams INT minus 120, Addison over 54.5. And Huss, what did you say the other one was?
I like Jefferson to get a touchdown.
So Jefferson TD, Addison over 54.5, and then Williams at minus 120. That is a nice little parlay for the first game. Have you guys taken a look at the Falcons and Raiders?
Yeah, and this one, this one's tough. We don't really. At least maybe you might know. We AOC is still listed as questionable, but I gotta assume it's going to be Desmond Ridder, regardless of who's under center. I think it's going to be a lot of a struggle to generate much offense. This should be an easy victory for the Falcons, but I don't really trust the Falcons, to be quite honest. So I don't know. I probably will stay away from a side. But Brock Bowers has been unbelievable. Whoever his quarterback has been, he's been super reliable. Yeah. It really doesn't matter. His total right now is set at 63.5, and his receptions are at 6.5. I think I like the yards more than the receptions, although I do kind of like the reception as well. You're just getting a better number at the even money for 63.5. So probably we'll go with 63.5 yards for Brock Bowers. And then, of course, it's prime time. So I like the field goal in both games. But if you do like the field goal in both games, there is an exclusive or a combo card, I should say right now, kicking it back. Over 3.5 field goals in both games, boosted from plus 285 all the way up to plus 328. So I'm going to be on that one as well.
Haas, what do you like in this one?
I think this is going to be a bounce back game for Cousins. I mean, he's basically playing for his starting job. I mean, after what's happened the past month, he's getting one more chance. And this is the perfect team to be playing against, to be honest, especially now that Max Crosby's out. I mean, there's very few defensive players that will swing a spread like Max Crosby has. But I mean, before Crosby was out, this number was 4.5, and it's now 6. But I'm buy into that. I mean, he can wreck a game himself. They don't have much other than him. Mm-hmm. And Atlanta's going to be able to, I think, protect Kirk Cousins a lot better without having to deal with Crosby, which means that I think the Kirk Cousins numbers are definitely on the table. Like Cousins pass completions over 21.5. I like that. And listen, I could see them being at a point where they're up and normally you would just want to run the football more. I think they are going to do everything they can to really get Kirk, allow him to throw, allow him to feel good. So 239.5 minus 110. I like. I don't mind the over 21.5 pass completions. That's minus 120. And the passing touchdowns of over 1.5 is minus 125. I think of all this, the shortest number is minus 110 on the passing yards. So let me throw out Kirk Cousins over 240 plus for the game.
Okay, and what I like here is Darnell Mooney over 3.5. It's minus 156, but it is a parlay. We're going to throw it in there. Mooney has gone over 3.5 every single game except one since October 20th. I mean, 5 catches, 4 catches, 9 catches, 5 catches, 2 catches, 3 catches, 6 catches. So twice he hasn't gone over it. But I mean, he's coming off a real nice game, 6 catches, 142 yards. I think that 3.5, and I'm buying into what Huss is selling on Kirk Cousins bounce back game. And if that happens, then Darnell Mooney at 3.5 is definitely a play for me. Actually, even at 49.5, it's a better number too. What do you guys like more, 3.5 catches or 49.5 yards?
I think I like the catches better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine either way on that.
I'm fine either way though. But let's go with the catches. Back to this Falcons Raiders game. Are we disrespecting the Desmond Ridder revenge game here? Is that going into
somebody had to say it
without laughing? I couldn't even say it without not laughing.
No, I don't think we are. I
just had to check.
I'm disrespecting that and the Raiders as a whole. Antonio Pierce.
Except for Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Bowers is a stud.
But their team is Bowers and Max Crosby. And
they
Bowers
only have one.
There, he's the one-man gang tonight, if you will. Unless you somehow picked up Sincere McCormick and are starting him in a do-or-die fantasy playoff game tonight, like a few people are, I'm sure.
I am up 10 points in Spite League tonight. My opponent has a Minnesota Vikings kicker, but I've got Brock Bowers and Bijan Robinson. So I should be able to maintain a 10 point. If I don't tonight, you guys won't see me again until 2025. I promise you that. Like, that'll be the end of it. I won't even text you. So, all right. So that's what we put together. Caleb Williams, INT. Addison over 54.5 and a Jefferson TD for the first game. Bowers over 63.5. Mooney over 3.5 catches. And what was the number on Cousins?
Over 239.5.
239.5. Beautiful. You'll be able to find both of those in the exclusives over at Coolbet Poker Night tomorrow night as well. And I've already posted the link to ride with me on the EST parlay tonight as well. Huss, what's coming up at Winnipeg Sports Talk?
Well, we're going to definitely talk some NFL in the second half of the program. We'll start it off breaking down the Jets win over the Habs on the weekend. Sean Reynolds is going to join us for some Jets talk. And then, with the Sabres having lost 10 in a row, the Rangers in a disastrous spot. Dennis Bernstein from the fourth period is going to join us. We're going to chop up a whole bunch of the big stories around the National Hockey League, not just the Winnipeg Jets heading into Christmas. So it should be a good one.
Excellent, guys. Apologize for the I've been in the chat. Everybody's like, you got to get one of these machines so you don't lose power in the studio. So I'm off to Memory Express after the oil stream today, and we'll secure power moving forward here. Enjoy the doubleheader on Monday night. I'm on a doubleheader, I guess, a double dip tonight, and we'll chat with you guys tomorrow.
Right on.
Good, boys.